The 2026 summer transfer window is heating up, and Premier League clubs are wasting no time getting their deals over the line. In this video, we're taking a look at the top confirmed Premier League transfers of 2026, including the player, his former club, his new club, the transfer fee, and whether the deal is permanent or a loan. Let's get straight into the confirmed deals. Christian Norgard, from Arsenal to Everton for £7 million on a permanent transfer. Lucas Hornicek, from Braga to Newcastle United for £30 million on a permanent transfer. Bruno Guimaraes, from Newcastle United to Arsenal for £80 million on a permanent transfer. Antonio Silva, from Benfica to Bournemouth for £20 million on a permanent transfer. James Trafford, from Manchester City to Leeds United for £40 million plus add-ons on a permanent transfer. João Gomes, from Wolverhampton Wanderers to Aston Villa for £38 million on a permanent transfer. Illan Meslier, from Leeds United to Arsenal on a free transfer. Juanlu Sanchez, from Sevilla to Bournemouth for £10 million on a permanent transfer. Johan Manzambi, from Freiburg to Aston Villa for £70 million on a permanent transfer. Jordan Henderson, from Brentford to Chelsea on a free transfer. Carl Darlow, from Leeds United to Manchester United on a free transfer. Marco Palestra, from Atalanta to Chelsea for £55 million on a permanent transfer. Marco Senesi, from Bournemouth to a Tottenham Hotspurs on a free transfer. Matheus Fernandes, from West Ham United to Tottenham Hotspur for £85 million on a permanent transfer. Maxence Lacroix, from Crystal Palace to Chelsea for £60 on a permanent transfer. Morgan Rogers, from Aston Villa to Chelsea for £117 million on a permanent transfer. Sandreo Tonali, from Newcastle United to Tottenham Hotspurs for £100 million on a permanent deal. Valentin Barco, from Strasbourg to Chelsea for £60 million on a permanent transfer. Victor Munoz, from Osasuna to Liverpool for £60 million on a permanent transfer. Cesar Palacios, from Real Madrid to Fulham for £10 million on a permanent transfer. Xaver Schlager, from RB Leipzig to Nottingham Forest on a free transfer. Yuri Tielemans, from Aston Villa to Manchester United for £30 million on a permanent transfer. Alejandro Garnacho, from Chelsea to Aston Villa on a season-long loan. Andre Santos, from Chelsea to Manchester United for around £50 million on a permanent transfer. Christos Tsolis, from Club Brugge to Arsenal for £35 on a permanent transfer. Callum Wilson, from West Ham United to Brentford on a free transfer. Danny Welbeck, from Brighton and Hove Albion to Chelsea for £5 million on a permanent transfer. Elliot Anderson, from Nottingham Forest to Manchester City for around £116 million on a permanent transfer. Gonzalo Garcia, from Real Madrid to Fulham for £40 million on a permanent transfer. And that's our roundup of some of the top confirmed Premier League transfers of 2026. With the transfer window still open, there could be plenty more big moves, record-breaking fees, and surprise transfers before deadline day. Which of these transfers do you think will have the biggest impact in the Premier League this season? Let us know in the comments below.